Federal Ministry of Communications has been renamed as the Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy. Briefing State House Correspondent after the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo in Abuja, Minister of Communications Dr. Isaac Pantami said this became imperative in order to harness the huge economic resources in the digital space.
The Federal Ministry of Communications, which I happen to supervise, has been renamed and redesignated as a Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy. So the amendment is that digital economy should be added to the name Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy. We came up with the proposal knowing that digital economy today is about to dominate the world. And even in Nigeria, if you look at it critically, the contribution of ICT to our GDP, gross domestic product, is increasing by the day. If you look at the second quarter of 2019, you will find out that oil and gas contributed 8.82% to our GDP, while non-oil sector collectively contributed 91.18%. while ICT contributed 13.85% to our GDP. So even the contribution of oil and gas was only 8.82, while ICT is 13.85%. So now the global practice is nations are moving into digital economy.
The Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, also hinted that his memo on ending gas flaring in Nigeria was equally approved by the Federal Executive Council meeting.
They no longer can do things that they used to do before for their own economic well-being. And if you notice, we have never, and it's very important that I mention this, tried to exploit the gas value chain. That is to add value, to that gas in a very massive manner. This methanol project is very massive because you will be, for example, for just blending with gasoline at 15%, that will be a very massive amount of methanol. And then you require a lot of gas to produce that quantity. Now, you can imagine all the trucks that we have in the country running on methanol. You can also imagine that many of our turbines that we use for electricity production will now start to use methanol. Then you can imagine where our rural people, our people in the rural areas will now replace kerosene with methanol.
Memos from the Aviation Ministry about communication devices in Zaria and Katsina Airport and updates on the new minimum wage from the Ministry of Labour and Employment also got approvals from the Federal Executive Council. From Abuja, I am Festus Ejiroge Nefifen for Ben Television.
Nigerian government says its fine-tuning details needed to establish a national carrier for the country. Minister of Aviation Adi Sarika revealed this while speaking with journalists shortly after the budget section with the Senate Committee on Aviation. Senator Sarika said he had had a series of meetings with manufacturers of Airbuses and other stakeholders to this effect.
We have finished the outline business case, which has been duly considered by ICRC and passed. And they're back to us now, and we'll set up the committee as required by the law and by the program. And then we will go to the market very soon, and once we're in the market, we'll procure. Just yesterday, I'm sure you missed the news. Odaudu, yes, they missed the news that one of the OEMs, original equipment manufacturers, Mrs. Airbus, was in our office with the entire team, or with their president, and so on and so forth. And some of big names in leasing were also in my office. We've been talking, and some of those who are interested in partnering with us were also in my office.
Contrary to the popular belief, he insisted that the plan for the Nigeria to have a national carrier has not been jettisoned. Following the adequate provision of completion of the new terminal building at the Akano Ibiam International Airport, Enugu, the minister confirmed that an additional 10 billion naira have been approved for further rehabilitation of the airport runway.
The Enugu Airport money has been approved by Mr. President. We're waiting for the release, and I'm sure it will be released very soon. And we're meeting with the contractor today. And today he will give us his program of work. We will look at that program of work diligently and ensure that it's procured within the time and within the budget. And the time for the procurement, I said, certainly will be before Easter. It will be concluded before Easter. However, I can give you a definite date after I met with the contractor today.
Other airports being rehabilitated by the government include Port Harcourt and Abuja. According to him, Kano Airport will be ready by December this year. Due to the court decision rule against Nigerian government, the accumulated judgment debt now stands at over 150 billion naira. This was revealed by Minister of Justice and the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, during the budget defense session for the Minister of Justice when he appeared before the Senate Committee on Judiciary. The minister cried for help to offset the debt that has now grown to over 50 billion naira. As a palliative measure, the minister appealed to the Senate to appropriate 30 billion naira annually for the payment of the accumulated judgment debt.
Payment of judgment debt. Ministry of Justice was mandated to take inventory and explore avenues for the payment of judgment debt, which has become hydra-headed. This has arisen because it was only in 2017 that the sum of 10 billion was disbursed for the payment of judgment debt as appropriated. As it stands, the sum of over 150 billion remains unpaid, prompting beneficiaries of this sum to keep mounting pressures on the ministry.
On their part, cross-section of the member of the Senate Committee on Judiciary suggests possible ways of addressing the mounting judgment debt.
The issue of debt is a moral issue. Once you are indebted and you are not challenging the debt, you have a moral obligation to pay. We will support that the best we can. And that means we probably have to go some extra mile from this distinguished chair to see how best we can approach the budget office to take a look at that seriously. And just by way of comment, I want to support the issue of scaling, the profile of the Minister of Justice, to be one of the ministries that identify.
On the judgment debt, I would suggest that you look at the ones that are very critical, because I know that if 30 billion, as you've suggested here, is to be appropriated yearly, it should come from the Ministry of Finance. Otherwise, they will accuse us of padding the budget. But if we look at the critical debt that's breathing down your neck, and put that forward, maybe in the region of 5 billion, 7, within that range, is something that we can internally look at it here and assist you.
Earlier, the chairman of the Committee on Judiciary, Senator Michael Opeyemi Bamidele, said investigation on the $9.6 billion UK court judgment in favor of P and ID has not been swept under carpet.
It is on record that
that the last allocation the ministry got on judgment debt was in the 2017 Appropriation Act, where the sum of 10 billion naira was appropriated. The committee is deeply concerned with the failure to service its judgment, failure of our government to service its judgment debts as expected, which has put our image and integrity before the international communities at stake. The committee would strive to ensure that budgetary provisions are made in order to offset the debt burden.
Other parastatals and agencies under the Ministry of Justice also appeared before the Senate Committee for the defense of their appropriation for the 2020 fiscal year. Nigerian Minister of Finance Zainab Ahmed says the country money and capital market remain shallow. Ahmed stated this in Abuja during the 2020 budget defense convened by Senate Committee on Finance, responding to Senator Kashim Shettima on why the capital market lacked depth of lifting the economy out of the stagnation. The minister lamented that Nigeria is vulnerable due to large investment by foreign investors who remain the dominant force in the capital markets.
We have to drive the process. 4 years ago, on daily basis, about $100 million are traded on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. It is mandate. It fell to an abysmal $3 million. So we have to drive the process. We have a lot of unclaimed dividends that can be invested back in the. We have to think outside the box and come up with a platform that will really revitalize
addressing the shallowness and lack of versatility of hedging instruments in Nigerian financial market. She recommended an amendment to enable the pension fund to invest in the market as well as infrastructure.
The Nigerian Stock Exchange, to my mind personally, is shallow. And we're looking at how to deepen it. We're working together with CAMIC, the capital market operators, on how we can mobilize domestic capital to invest more in the market. So now we are exposed because the largest share of investments are foreign direct investments. And FDIs come in when they see better returns, and when they see some change somewhere else, it goes out again. So we're vulnerable because of that. We need to look at how to enable the pension funds to invest in the market. And my assessment is there will need to be some amendment in the Pension Act to actually enable them invest more in the capital market as well as invest in infrastructure. We're also looking at how we can, doing a national savings policy to encourage not just government, for business and even individuals to save.
She added that the federal government is working together with capital market operators on how to mobilize domestic investors to invest more in capital markets. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning has proposed a total of 3.8 billion naira for its 2020 operations.
Bayelsa State is created in the year 1996. Bayelsa is also blessed with natural resources. Honorable Ibizumo Deraye said his vision is to transform Bayelsa.
We'll partner with different countries, different governments. We're going to have a very robust plan for our youths. We have salt in commercial quantity in Bayelsa State. We can use to set up a salt factory. We have clay in Bayelsa State that can use to set up a bond brick industry. There is an ongoing project we inherited from the old River State they have the rhizome palm in River State, and we have the Bayelsa palm in Bayelsa State. I'm in touch with some Malaysians. We all know what Malaysia has done with palm. Malaysia has been able to derive over 1,000 byproducts from palm. So whatever we have in Bayelsa State now, we're going to harness it to the fullest. So if we have a salt factory, we have a glass factory, we have a bond brick factory, we have a factory that is producing different byproducts from palm, I don't think our youth will look for jobs. We also intend, Bayelsa is oil bearing, we also intend to build refineries, petrochemical plants, fertilizer plants.
Billionaire and philanthropist hobby of Regina Daniels, Prince Ned Woku, surely knows how to pamper a woman, as he organized an exclusive birthday groove for his heartthrob and Nollywood delectable actress, Regina Daniels, at an Italian restaurant, Governor's House Hotel Marina in Dubai. Top celebrities like Tony Lawani, Daddy Freeze, Cool FM OAP, amongst others, were on ground to celebrate with the delectable actress.
It's really been nice. We've been having like a very nice time going around. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me?
No, they can't hear you.
Can you hear me? Say hi, everybody. Hi.
Hi.
It's actually nice that we're all here. And this is the first time ever that any radio station has ever had people in one gathering together. So this is support and love. And so for you to now extend that and say, you know what, everybody come together, let's listen and find out it's really good. So we really appreciate it. And we look forward to having like a really great time with this celebration. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. So I think before he gives the benediction, we would allow the birthday lady to say a word or two.
No, if she's going to speak, then I will suggest you also speak on behalf of Cool FM.
Okay.
I can do it.
Okay.
Yes, there's no need for her to speak.
Okay.
You guys are cool. Look at your hairstyle, look at your, the guy here is forever cool. We're not here for speech making. We said we should have dinner with you guys, so you're welcome.
Thank you.
And I think the food is probably cold now. All the saints, you're welcome, and I'm sure we're going to take your numbers and try and keep in touch. Yeah? Thank you.
Alright, so thank you. I think that's the end of the talk. So now is eat, socialize, meet and greet, and have fun. Thank you so much.
She was comfortable. Most importantly, I think she likes being comfortable in whatever she wears. And it was fun styling her because we were laughing all through. She's a bubbly girl. She's fun to be with. She's a people's person. She knows how to bring out the best. And she makes my work very easy for me. So I think I'll be styling her for a very long time.
I'm Yasmin, and it's been my first time in Nigeria. And I've had actually a wonderful time with Regina Daniel. We've had a lovely time for her birthday in Dubai. And Regina Daniels, she's an amazing girl. And she's just a girl that you can keep as a good friend, sister, everything.
Well, I've never actually liked hanging out with my age mates, like people of my age. I go for people way older or below. And being married to my husband hasn't stopped me from playing with those people. In short, I love his honesty. First of all, I wouldn't call it an initiation. It's more like being welcomed to being welcomed to womanhood. And for you to be part of that group, it's an elite group. You must be married or you must be a woman of substance. So I would say I'm even privileged to be part of that group. Business, producing, directing, and of course Hollywood. I can't think of anything because when I was single, my life has always been acting, schooling. I really did not have time for parties and stuff like that. But me being married, I could go to parties, I could do whatever I want. I would say I'm even more privileged. I even have more opportunities now to do things than when I was single. The question is, will he ask me to leave? First of all, because I haven't really thought about that, because the kind of man I married, he would never ask me to leave what I love. The only thing I have to say is thank you. Thanks for supporting me. Thanks for supporting my brand. Thanks for... just thank you. Thanks for everything.
We have met now.
All right. One more. Cheese.